Hello friends, Namaste, welcome to the Yoga Logics. Today I am really excited as we are starting our new Ashtanga Yoga series on yoga. Understanding the ideas of Ashtanga Yoga are very important in understanding the basics of yoga practice and to progress in it. With the proper understanding of the theory, you will be able to grasp the subject and this will help you in making a strong practice routine. Theory precedes practice. Let me give you a brief introduction about what Ashtanga Yoga really is. The way of the Ashtanga Yoga, where Ashta means 8 and Anga means limbs or steps, was formulated by the sage Patanjali from India in his book Patanjali Yoga Sutras somewhere around 2500 years back. This is called the Eightfold Path into Yoga. The 8 steps or the limbs are Yamas or the moral codes, Niyamas or the personal discipline, Asanas or the yoga postures, Pranayama or the breathing practices, Pratyahara or the withdrawal of senses, Dharana or the practice of concentration, Dhyana or the practice of extended periods of concentration, also called meditation, and last, Samadhi. According to sage Patanjali, yoga practices are the path to internal and external purification of the body and mind for revealing the universal self when one experiences Samadhi. We will talk more about all the subjects in detail in the upcoming videos. Today, we will take the Yamas. Yamas are the 5 moral codes which one should follow in order to discipline one's behavior. These are: the first Yama is Ahimsa, or the principle of non-violence. The Yajurveda, dated to be between 1000 BCs and 600 BCs, states, "May all beings look at me with a friendly eye, may I do likewise, and may we look at each other with the eyes of a friend." According to this principle, one must not harm any creature knowingly or unknowingly in order to have a healthy relationship with them. This applies to all the living beings and the non-living things as well. Our relationships with the outside world depends on how we behave in the presence of another living being or a non-living thing. If we keep an attitude of friendliness for another living being, it also will not harm us. Also, if we use a non-living thing like our car or simple household items like tables and chairs with a responsible attitude and take care of them, they most certainly will be dependable in times when we need them the most. A friendly and approachable manager is liked by all. So, remember to be gentle with that small insect you see on your porch or that unknown stranger you find on the road who might need your help. So, we move on to the next Yama. The second Yama is Satya, the principle of being truthful. It states that one should develop the quality of being truthful in one's thought, speech, and action. Our actions must coincide with our intentions. It states we must restrain ourselves from falsehood and the distortion of reality in our expressions and actions. If we remain truthful to another being, it certainly will enhance the quality of our relationships with them. Our approach must be so that people can have trust on us. This enables the natural harmony between all the living and non-living things in this universe. It is written in the Yoga Sutras of sage Patanjali that when one is firmly established in speaking truth, the fruits of action become subservient to him. We move on to our next Yama. The third Yama is Asteya, the principle of non-stealing. This means to not steal from anyone in any form, be it a thought, an idea, or a material possession. Yoga says we must not take that which is not ours, even a thing we find on the road. This seems ridiculous in one glance, but it has a logical meaning. Friends, when we steal something from someone, there are 2 parts of us who are always at battle with each other: our conscience and our intellect. When we think of stealing something, our conscience warns us right at that moment by increasing our heartbeat that this is not correct. But when the intellect prevails and tells us that there is no harm in taking this thing, then starts the battle between the conscience and the intellect. This conflict in the mind and the actions generates an emotional imbalance in us by affecting the various glands in the body which secrete hormones. This increases our heartbeats. All this has a negative effect on our power of concentration. Our focus is diverted from our work, and instead it is diverted on thinking about why did we do this wrong thing. Guys, I want to point out here that the real damage which happens is to our psyche and our ability to perform efficiently by the loss of our focus. Do think about it. We move on to our next yama. The fourth yama is brahmacharya, the principle of sexual discipline. Friends, this discipline has been the most misunderstood one in yoga. People think that it is totally wrong to enjoy sex if you practice yoga, or it is immoral to have it. This thought somehow got propagated so much and so deep in people's minds that people with a family started hating yoga to the level where if a child asks his or her parents that they want to learn the yoga practices, the parent starts judging them and shunning them. This is a misconception that if you are practicing yoga, you cannot have sex, which is completely natural phenomena. The nature uses sex through living organisms to keep the life chain running. What is such a normal process has been made into a thing of judgment, and that is only because of a certain idea that it is wrong. Friends, what brahmacharya really means is a certain discipline in the practice of sex which helps us to discipline our mind, just like the disciplines of non-violence, truthfulness and non-stealing in a logical way. I'll give you one example. One has a happy and a stable married life, or has a trusting partner, as in a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and still indulges in another relationship. They are bound to ruin their relationships because it is violence, theft and falsehood, all things in a package in doing so. Now if we look at it logically and not morally for a second, then also it is wrong. We may get mental and emotional stress after breaking our partner's trust. So the point is, while on the path of yoga practices and as a seeker, it is advised to discipline the mind from all the desires and not vanquish them totally. Training our minds is the word, but not suppression. We move on to our next yama. The fifth yama is aparigraha, means non-possessiveness or non-hoarding. Friends, we are in the 21st century and all the facilities and resources are in access right now. There has been a resource boom all over the world that the world may have not seen before. This became possible because of the industrial and the agricultural revolutions around the world. So when we started getting better resources and facilities, like all the household goods and food items, we lost our controls over our tongues. Our desire of accumulating things in the name of lifestyles and competing with others has reached a high that everyone is now running behind things in their lives. Science has made our lives easier by providing better medical facilities and better comfort, but in our incessant desire to hoard or acquire more, we have forgotten to enjoy life and its simple and little things. The principle of non-possessiveness can be connected to the principle of non-attachment. Yoga means enjoying the benefits of all the scientific researches, but also to not become so much attached to the comforts that we destroy our mental or physical health all along. So friends, please do remember to acquire only that much that you want and not indulge in unnecessary competitions out of greed or jealousy. This was our today's video on yamas. Our next video in the Ashtanga Yoga series will be on niyamas, the 5 personal disciplines. If you liked today's video and want to know more about yoga in a logical way, do subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon to get the latest updates. If you think someone might benefit from watching the content in this video, do not forget to share it. I will see you soon in our next video. Till then, take care and better your life with yoga. Om Tat Sat.